With that being said, Thanksgiving.
We're those subscribers now.
Thanksgiving. This is how many. 1 out of 5. How many? How many do you give?
Was it or flying? We had some people watch the episode from last week and saw those little birdies at the bottom. Hey, all right.
Yeah, the flying will be back in season 3.
You know it. All right. So for me, we go basically no all spot and everything. For me, for this one, I'm going to give this film out of 5. I give it 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 3.5, 3.5. Because again, yes, there's room for improvement as far as things they could have done better, but again, it was very courageous. And again, when you do a story like this where you're breaking it up, yeah, there's a moderator, there's someone to follow, but it's broken up in so many different stories. That's very challenging, and I think they in certain occasions they rose to it, in certain things they missed. But I mean, who am I to say that? Because I don't know what their true idea was. I only know what it could have been. I know I will watch it again. I recommend it to people. And let's be honest, we can't give everything 4 or 5 because then we lose validity in what we're doing. So to me, this.
I mean, one of us, I think, is always going to give it a 4, the movie a 4 or above because we pick the movies. And
the audience is they've been yeah.
What would you, out of the 3 obscure movies that I've picked for this series between Coffee Town, Living Wake, and The 10, where would you rank The 10 within those?
It's number 1.
Okay.
It just beat out the Coffee Town because while Coffee Town played more to Coffee Town wasn't, while it's still hilariously funny, everybody didn't carry the same energy as the cop in Coffee Town. That cop, but in this film, they did like seeing a bunch of him do it, and then Liv Schreiber. I mean, Jesus, imagine like talking about movie swaps. Imagine if Liv Schreiber would have played the cop in Coffee Town. Like, could you imagine? But with the same man, we come in and motherfuckers just drop those bullets. So yeah, man, that's for me. Yeah, 3.5.
All right, I give it a 4.5. I think I would have given it a 5 if it wasn't for the lying rhino. But the cleverness is relentless in this movie from the beginning with Stephen Montgomery jumping out of the plane for us only to find out that he's doing it without a chute, all the way to the end credits in the music where you're getting these ultra specific descriptions of whatever is happening in the credits. There's not a moment wasted in this movie as far as at least attempting to make a joke. And they don't always land perfectly, but that's almost part of the appeal to it for me. This movie has an absurd, try anything, embrace cheesiness approach to humor, and I love the experimental energy. Aimbot Energy, thanks for sponsoring.
Hey, mutually pleasurable.
69% technology.
Serotonin.
I love the experimental energy of the 10. If there were ever a comedy that could keep you on the edge of your seat because you don't know what's going to happen next, the way a suspense thriller keeps you on the edge of your seat, this is the movie. Because you're always sitting there. There's no way to anticipate what's coming because shit comes out of left field in this.
And with you saying that, just side note here, you're going to go on a hell of a ride next season with my one of my mainstays of I'm going to go preview season 3. I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Oh, that's another one that takes every opportunity to make a joke.
Yes.
Yeah. Craig Wedren's music is fantastic in the 10. The composer is owed so much respect for the work he put in on this movie because he is traversing genres in this movie to create a composition that accommodates all of the different genres that are spoofed in all the stories. You're getting like a dramatic score, romantic score, whatever the hell was happening, that like really tribal sounding shit that was going on in the MRI scenes that they ended up using in the trailer too. So many different variations of like styles of music, all with this comedic element sprinkled on top of it. Was just it's really cool.
It was a hell of a ride for me because we went from No Country for Old Men with no music to this. It was just like, man, golly, sensory overload.
Mm-hmm. And also kind of like the composer, the cinematography by Jeroen Arbach, again tackling different styles of cinematography to complement the different themes and the stories, all done equally as effective. And another joke like that is when in the last story when the dude's like after 80 miles is talking about blowing the sailors, the his friend that's standing there says cut to ding dong, and then it literally does a transition cut to a sound effect of the doorbell going ding dong, and there's only a certain amount of people out there that are actually going to really appreciate that joke, because the joke is this is an actor that doesn't understand the difference between dialogue and transitions or actions that are written in the script, and he just read right through his dialogue into the next lines in the script that weren't his dialogue.
Ding dong.
And you don't get that punchline until it cuts to the next scene. You see the cut to ding dong, but on top of that, even if you don't get that's happening, it works on its own because it's like a gay theme. So cut to ding dong works even on its own right. So it's like two jokes for the price of one, and a certain group of people it's really going to pay off for that understand what's going on in the script. And that's what another thing that's great about this movie is they're not afraid to make a joke that they know is only going to make 10% of the people that watch it laugh. The clever ways that it would transition from the words and the commandments to each story, sometimes ridiculously, and how each story is loosely connected. I thought that was a nice touch, and Angela actually had some notes while we were watching it. Paul Rudd's poop is her favorite line in the movie. She said she would follow Jesus too if he looked like that.
No, she said she'd follow Jesus too if he looked like that.
The Jaffe babies are the worst newborns she's ever seen on screen. She's really particular about when a newborn baby is shown in a movie that it doesn't really look like a newborn. I'm like, what the f*** do you want? Do you want them to really go snatching the baby?
She wants the placenta. She wants placenta everywhere.
Yeah. And she agrees with us that the MRI sequence is the best scene in the movie. So that's f***s.
Given.
If I remember correctly, you did it as a goof.
As a goof.
Hey, guy, as a goof. Guy, as a goof.
But there is a goof.
I am goofing. I did it as a goof.
Please tell me you're goofing.
No, I don't goof. I like a goof.
I would never, under any circumstances, do anything to harm a patient unless I was doing it as a goof.
I'm goofing. Is this a goof?
Relax. As a goof. I did it as a goof.
Sure, as a goof, I get it.
Tell me this is a goof.
Wait, is this a goof?
Scissors!
As a goddamn goof!
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.